So today I took part in my first ever speed awareness course for going 3 miles an hour over the limit for the first time in 14 years. So I was a bit peeved that I had to take part in this course, but if you do the cram, you got to do the time. And the course was carried out by a lovely man called Ian John, who I want to say was lovely. He was brilliant at his job, and we started the course off by him giving me a bit of his background of him, as most courses do. And Ian John said he does his job because he has a passion for road safety. Now, no matter how important road safety is, I was thinking to myself, I really hope you've got some other passions, because that sounds pretty boring. At the beginning of the course, he actually said to everybody, me and all my friends who you're going to meet throughout this video, who collectively made this course very fun. He said to us, get a pen and paper to make notes, and I made notes about all the important stuff, of course, but I also made my own notes of what made this course quite entertaining. First of all, when all the other candidates joined the room, I was quite shocked to see one of my old teachers there. My old teacher, he was a mathematics teacher, I'm not going to name him, but he spent a lot of time lecturing me. So it was quite funny to see him being in the same room getting lectured for breaking the law. My friend Ian then went on to state that he is carrying out this course on his new laptop, which was riveting information, and I couldn't wait to get to the end to see if it holds out. And thankfully, the laptop did its job. And it wasn't long before excitement kicked in. There was drama from the start because Lauren decided to turn off her mic, which Ian picked up on like that and made her turn it back on. We was then told, when being asked if you can hear videos or any other questions that require the answer yes, rather than saying yes, we use our thumbs. So I spent most of the day doing thumbs up, but mine is pretty bendy and awkward. Just 5 minutes into the course, we realised there was a candidate missing. We was going to all go out as a search party together to find him, but then he arrived with a very strange name. His name was actually, instead of his actual name, Darren, he joined with Womb with a View from Grimsby. And then a bit of humour came into the course because my friend Ian John actually said that the course ended at 2:45 when in fact it ended at 1:45, and Alan was gobsmacked. His jaw nearly hit the floor, but then quickly Ian told us that it was just a joke. We was all in hysterics. And I was nervous, I was shaking, but I got hit with my first question of the course. And it wasn't until about my third question that I realised that Sean had my back, because everything I answered, I saw him on the screen nodding with agreement. So a big shout out to Sean. Appreciate the support, dude. Then unfortunately on my case there was a slight bit of embarrassment. I kind of get distracted in these kind of situations and had my knee up like this and was picking my toenails, looking down, and was asked by the instructor if I could lift my head and focus. To which I thought I'd best flick this toenail where he can't see it. For anyone who's never done these courses before, I was quite shocked that Ian John was actually just a businessman and not actually a cop. And he wasn't there to lecture us, he was there to make sure we didn't make these mistakes again. Then anxiety set in for me because we started speaking about how going just 1 mile an hour over the speed limit can change someone's life, and we started speaking about children, and I started thinking to myself, maybe going 3 over the mile an hour was a mistake on my part and I should be here. And then the drama kicked off again because Danny's scream went poof into thin air, and it was picked up by Ian John, of course. He asked him where he had gone because we can't see him or what he's doing, but Danny played it down as a technical fault. But there's one last twist. When his screen went again and was asked the same question, he actually came back a minute later and said, "Sorry, Duck, I was just sorting a brew." We couldn't believe it as a team because none of us had brews, and the instructor even said we're only 5 minutes from the break. Break time, however, was only 4 minutes 20 away, not even 5. So we was given a very generous 20 minutes to go back to turning our cameras off, turning our microphones off, and picking our toenails once again. But when we came back from the break, there was a big dramatic hold-up because Graham's iPhone started running out. And when it started running out, rather than sticking it on charge and staying on the same device, he moved over to a laptop, which wasn't really carrying out the job because we couldn't see him. The instructor was saying we need to rectify this problem quick because time is running out, and he had to turn off his laptop, go back to the iPhone, and there was restored. Everyone in the group was completely stressed at the hold-up that Graham carried out. So what we was taught was the triangle breathing method. You breathe in for 3, and you let out for 3. There is another process to make the triangle, but I can't remember. As the course came to a close, I did start throwing in a couple meows whilst looking off the screen. However, nobody unfortunately took the bait. And I'm going to struggle to speak about this one, but as the course came to a close, there was disgust within the full room. I saw it on everyone's faces because Alice decided to drop in her first swear word when discussing how she actually got caught speeding, and she used the vulgar word shit. Anyway, after we muted her microphone and kicked her out of our newfound friendship group, we realised that Dennis had a beautiful golden labradoodle, and we all asked his name, and yeah, he got some attention from the team. And that was my amazing speed awareness experience, and it was ended with class, with the quality line, the unpredictable line of, I don't mean to offend you guys, but I never want to see you again.